My wife vanished for 3 days. No call, no text, nothing. When she finally came home, she said, "I don't owe you explanations." I replied, "You're right." Then I handed her divorce papers and the PI report with photos. Her story changed immediately when I, 36 male, need to write this down while it's still fresh. My hands are shaking, but my head's never been clearer. Monday morning, my wife, 34, left for work like any normal day. Kissed me goodbye, said she'd pick up groceries on the way home. We'd been married 6 years. Good marriage, I thought. No major issues, talked about starting a family soon. She never came home. Called her phone at 7 p.m. Straight to voicemail. Called her work. They said she'd left at 5:30 p.m. Called her best friend, her sister, her parents. Nobody knew anything. Her mom started freaking out, wanted to call hospitals. I filed a missing person report Tuesday morning. Cops took it seriously at first. Married woman, no history of disappearing, phone off. They pinged her last location to a hotel downtown before the phone died. When I asked which hotel, they said they'd look into it. But here's the thing. The cop's face changed when he checked something on his computer. Got this look like pity, annoyance. He said, "Sir, sometimes adults need space. Give it 48 hours before we escalate." I knew what that meant. They found her phone active somewhere, probably checked hotel records, saw she checked in voluntarily. They weren't gonna do anything. Tuesday afternoon, I called a PI. Guy named Raymond, came recommended by a divorced coworker. Told him everything. He said he'd start immediately and get back to me within 24 hours. Most of these cases, he said, are exactly what you're afraid they are. I'm sorry. Couldn't sleep Tuesday night. Wednesday morning, Raymond called. Found her. She's at the Westfield Hotel, room 308. Checked in Monday evening. She's not alone. My stomach dropped. Who is she with? Male, approximately 32 to 35. Arrived Monday evening, stayed both nights. They've left the room together twice. Dinner Tuesday night, breakfast Wednesday morning. You want photos? Everything. He emailed me 23 photos. My wife having dinner with some guy I'd never seen. Laughing. Holding hands across the table. Kissing in the hotel parking lot. Entering the room together. The last photo was time-stamped Wednesday 2:47 p.m. Both of them in the hotel lobby with luggage, hugging goodbye. I called Raymond back. How fast can you write up a report? Have it to you by 5 p.m. You want me to keep following her? No, I got what I need. Went straight to a divorce attorney's office. Explained everything. She reviewed the PI report Raymond sent over. Looked at the photos. This is pretty clear-cut adultery, she said. In this state, that matters for division of assets. You own the house? Bought it 2 years before we married. She's not on the title. My inheritance money. Good. Any joint accounts? No, separate finances. She insisted on it when we got married, said it was more modern. The lawyer actually smiled. That's going to work in your favor. I can have papers drawn up by end of business today. You want to move fast? Fast as possible. Got home at 6 p.m. The papers were already in my email. Printed 2 copies. Set them on the kitchen table with the PI report and photos in a neat manila folder. My wife walked in at 6:47 p.m. She looked fine. Not guilty, not stressed, just normal. Set her purse down, kicked off her shoes. Hey, she said, like nothing happened. I was sitting at the kitchen table. Hey, she walked to the fridge, grabbed a water. What's for dinner? Where were you? She turned around, took a sip. I needed some space, clear my head. For 3 days, without telling me? Her face shifted, got this defensive look. I'm allowed to have time to myself. I don't need to report my every movement to you. I filed a missing person report. She rolled her eyes. That's so dramatic. I'm a grown woman. Your mom's been calling hospitals. Then you should have told her I was fine. I didn't know you were fine. You turned off your phone. She set the water bottle down hard. Look, I'm not doing this. I needed space. I took it. I don't owe you explanations for everything I do. And there it was. The line I knew was coming. I stood up. You're right. She blinked. What? You're right. You don't owe me explanations. Picked up the manila folder and divorce papers, walked over and handed them to her. But I don't owe you a marriage either. She opened the folder. I watched her face go through every emotion in 10 seconds. Confusion, recognition, shock, panic, terror. The photo on top was her kissing him in the parking lot. This isn't... Wait. She flipped through them. You had someone following me? Answers in the PI report. Page 3 has the hotel details. Page 5 has the timeline. Pages 6 through 8 have all 23 photos. Her hands were shaking now. Jake, this isn't what it looks like. Sign the papers. I'm filing tomorrow morning. You can't. We need to talk about this. You said you don't owe me explanations. I agreed. Now I'm giving you the same courtesy. Sign the papers. She dropped everything on the counter, came toward me. Baby, please. Let me explain. It was just... Don't. I stepped back. Don't insult me more than you already have. 3 days. 3 days you were screwing some random guy while your mom thought you were dead in a ditch. He's not random. We just reconnected and don't care. Sign the papers or don't. Either way, I'm filing in the morning. You should probably find somewhere else to stay tonight. This is my house too. No, it's my house. Bought and paid for before we married. Check the deed. Your name's not on it. Her face went red. You can't kick me out. I'm not kicking you out. I'm suggesting you'd be more comfortable elsewhere. But if you stay in the guest room. We're done. She started crying. Please, just listen to me. It was a mistake. A 3-day mistake where you checked into a hotel and lied to everyone who cares about you? I was confused. About us, about everything. And now you're not confused anymore? No, I mean, yes. I want to be here. With you. This meant nothing. I headed toward the stairs. If it meant nothing, you would have done nothing. You spent 3 days doing very much something. Good night. Locked myself in the bedroom. Heard her crying downstairs for an hour. Then heard her on the phone, voice muffled. Then heard the front door slam. Checked the window. Her car was gone. My phone buzzed. Text from her. Please don't do this. I love you. It was stupid. I'll do anything. Blocked her number. Sent copies of everything to my lawyer. Took a sleeping pill and passed out. Update 1. 5 days later. Holy hell, this week's been insane. Filed the papers Thursday morning. My lawyer said with the evidence, this should be straightforward. Wife will probably get her personal belongings and maybe a small settlement since we were married 6 years. But the house stays mine. Retirement accounts stay separate. Everything stays mostly mine. Except that's not how this played out. Thursday afternoon, I got served with a restraining order. Against me. My wife claimed I was threatening and volatile, and she feared for her safety after I ambushed her with false accusations and illegal surveillance. Had to go to court Friday morning. She showed up with a lawyer and her sister, both crying, both looking at me like I'm a monster. Her lawyer argued that hiring a PI was obsessive stalking behavior, and the photos were obtained through illegal means. They weren't. Raymond's licensed. Said I emotionally manipulated her and she felt unsafe in her own home. My lawyer presented the timeline. Wife disappeared without warning. I filed a missing persons report. Hired a PI after police basically shrugged. PI observed her in public spaces and hotel common areas, all legal. Judge looked at the photos. Looked at my wife. Looked at me. Ma'am, your husband hired an investigator after you disappeared for 3 days. The photos show you engaged in what appears to be an extramarital affair. While I understand this is uncomfortable for you, nothing about his actions constitutes harassment or stalking. Request denied. My wife started sobbing. Her sister glared at me. They left without a word. But here's where the entitlement really ramped up. Saturday morning, her dad showed up, banging on my door at 8 a.m. Open up, we need to talk man to man. Open the door. What do you want? He pushed past me. What I want is for you to stop this nonsense. You're embarrassing my daughter over a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? She checked into a hotel with another man for 3 days. She was going through something. Women get emotional. You should have been there for her instead of spying on her. She told me she didn't owe me explanations. So? You're her husband. You work through it. By letting her cheat on me? He got in my face. You got proof she actually cheated? Saw them in bed together? Or just some innocent photos? I pulled up a photo on my phone. The one where they're clearly kissing, showed him. He barely looked at it. That's nothing. A kiss? You're throwing away a marriage over a kiss? A 3-day kiss at a hotel where they stayed in the same room both nights. You don't know what happened in that room. I know enough. Your daughter made her choice. Now I'm making mine. He changed tactics, got all sad and pleading. Son, she made a mistake. She knows it. She's devastated. Give her another chance. Think about the family we built together. She thought about our family while she was checking into hotels? Everyone deserves forgiveness. Sure, somewhere else, not in my house. He switched back to angry. You think you're so perfect? You were probably a terrible husband, drove her to this. That what she told you? That this is my fault? She said you've been distant, cold, working all the time. I work 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, home every night by 6. She knew my schedule when we got married, but yeah, me being cold definitely justifies secret hotel stays. He stabbed his finger toward me. You'll regret this. When you're alone and miserable, remember you threw away a good woman. I'll remember I divorced a cheater. Now get out of my house. This isn't over. Yeah, it is. Court date's next month. Tell your daughter to get a better lawyer. He left, slamming the door so hard a picture frame fell off the wall. Sunday, her mom and sister showed up, with suitcases. We're here to collect her belongings, the sister announced. Sure, make a list of what's hers. I'll have it ready by next weekend. We're getting it now. No, this is my house, and you're not walking around unsupervised taking whatever you want. Her mom started crying. How can you be so cruel? She's devastated. She should have thought about that before the Westfield Hotel. She explained that. She ran into an old college boyfriend, and they just caught up. Nothing happened. For 3 days? In a hotel room? They were talking. In bed? You don't know they were in bed. I literally laughed. Lady, I'm not stupid and neither are you. Stop insulting both of us. Her sister got nasty. You know what? She told me you were boring in bed anyway. That's probably why she needed something exciting. Cool. Hope exciting was worth half her stuff in the divorce. You're not getting everything. She deserves half that house. The house I bought before we met, that she's not on the title for? Good luck. She put work into that house. Picking out throw pillows isn't equity, sorry. The mom jumped back in. This is financial abuse. You're trying to leave her with nothing. She'll get what she's legally entitled to, which, according to my lawyer, isn't much given the whole adultery thing. We'll see what the judge says. Yeah, we will. Next month. Now leave before I call the cops for trespassing. They left screaming about lawyers and judges and how I'll pay for this. Monday, I changed all the locks again. Added cameras at the front door and back door. Not taking chances. Got a text from an unknown number. You're making a huge mistake. I love you. Please can we just talk face to face? Blocked it. Another unknown number. It's me. I got a new phone since you blocked me. Please baby, I screwed up. I'll do anything. Blocked it. Third unknown number. Stop being childish. We're adults. We can work through this. Yeah. Blocked that too. My lawyer called Tuesday. They filed a counter petition demanding spousal support, half the house value, and compensation for emotional distress from my cruel actions. Can they get any of that? She laughed. They can ask, won't get it, but it'll drag things out a few more weeks while we respond. You good to wait? I've got time. Here's the thing. People keep asking if I feel guilty. If I'm being too harsh, if maybe I should give her a chance. No, she disappeared for 3 days. Didn't tell me, her parents, anyone. Let us all panic and worry. Then came home acting like it was no big deal, and she didn't owe anyone explanations. Then when caught, suddenly it's all mistakes and confusion and, can't we work through this? Nah, she showed me exactly who she is. I'm just responding accordingly. Next court date's in 3 weeks. Her lawyer's already trying to negotiate. My lawyer's response was basically, lol, no. This isn't over, but I'm weirdly calm about it, like I'm watching it happen to someone else. More updates coming. Update 2. 3 weeks later. Court was yesterday. Buckle up. So the past 3 weeks were a masterclass in escalating crazy. My wife apparently decided that if she couldn't guilt me, manipulate me, or cry at me, she'd just go nuclear. Week 1 after the last update, she started showing up at my work. Not inside, she'd wait in the parking lot. Just sitting in her car, watching the entrance. Security noticed her the second day and asked if I wanted them to intervene. I said only if she tries to come inside. She never did. Just sat there for hours. My coworkers started asking questions. I gave them the short version. Going through a divorce, she's taking it badly. Then she started following me to lunch. I'd drive to get food, she'd be 3 cars back. I'd park, she'd park across the street. Never approached me. Just watched. Creepy as hell. My lawyer sent a cease and desist, got a response from her lawyer basically saying she's allowed to be in public places. Week 2. The phone calls started. Not to my number. I'd blocked her on everything. No. She started calling my boss, my direct supervisor, HR. First call to my boss. Hi, I'm calling about one of your employees. I'm concerned about his mental state. He's been acting erratically and I'm worried about his judgment at work. My boss, bless him, asked who was calling. When she identified herself, he said, "Ma'am, I'm aware of your situation. Please direct any concerns through appropriate legal channels," and hung up. She called back 4 more times that day. He stopped answering. HR got involved after she called them claiming I'd stolen money from her and they should check if I was embezzling from the company too. Had to have a meeting with HR. Brought my lawyer, explained the whole situation, showed them the divorce filing, the PI report, everything. HR lady looked exhausted. "Sir, we're sorry you're dealing with this. We'll note that these claims are part of a contentious divorce and take no action. If she continues calling, we'll pursue harassment charges." That scared her off work calls for about 48 hours. Then she called my mom. "Hi, I need to talk to you about your son. He's not well. He's invented this whole story about me cheating because he's having some kind of breakdown. I'm really worried about him." My mom, who's met my wife maybe 6 times and never really liked her, said, "Honey, if you cheated on my son, that's between you two and your divorce lawyers. Don't call my house again." Wife apparently started crying and begging my mom to talk sense into him. Mom hung up. Then she tried my dad. My dad answered, listened for about 10 seconds, said, "You're the cheater, right? Lose this number," and blocked her. Week 3. This is where things got really stupid. My wife's lawyer filed an emergency motion claiming I'd hidden marital assets and demanding access to all my financial records, including accounts I had before we married. My lawyer's response was basically, "Lol, nice try," but in legal language. We had to go to court for a hearing. Judge was clearly annoyed at the waste of time. Wife's lawyer argued that I must have hidden money because I could afford a private investigator and a good divorce attorney. My lawyer presented, my client used his personal savings from an account established before the marriage to hire both the investigator and myself. Here are the bank statements. No marital funds were used. The account has never been joint or accessible to the respondent. Judge to wife's lawyer. Counselor, do you have any actual evidence of hidden assets or are we fishing? Silence. That's what I thought. Motion denied. Next time bring evidence, not suspicions. But the best part, the absolute chef's... Wait, I can't say that. The best part was when we finally got to the actual divorce hearing yesterday. Wife showed up looking like she was going to a funeral. Black dress, minimal makeup, red eyes, playing the victim hard. Her lawyer opened with, "Your Honor, my client is devastated. She made one mistake during a difficult time in her marriage, and her husband has responded with nuclear retaliation. He hired a stalker to follow her. He's attempting to leave her destitute. He's turned her own family against her." My lawyer stood up. Objection. None of that is accurate, and counsel knows it. Judge sustained. Stick to facts, counselor. Wife's lawyer tried again. My client admits she reconnected with an old friend during a period where she was feeling neglected in her marriage. They met for coffee, talked, and yes, she stayed at a hotel to have space to think. But nothing physical occurred. My lawyer pulled out the photos. Your Honor, these were taken by a licensed investigator in public spaces. Photo 12 clearly shows the respondent and her companion kissing in the hotel parking lot. Photo 15 shows them entering the hotel room together at 9:47 p.m. Monday evening. Photo 18 shows them leaving together at 11:23 a.m. Tuesday, returning at 2:15 p.m. Photo 21 shows them leaving again Wednesday at 7:34 a.m. for breakfast, returning at 8:52 a.m. The judge looked at the photos, looked at my wife, looked at her lawyer. Counsel, your client stayed in a hotel room with a man who is not her husband for 2 consecutive nights, and there's photographic evidence of physical affection. What exactly is your argument here? Wife's lawyer scrambled. The photos don't prove. They could have been in separate beds. It's circumstantial. Judge cut him off. 2 adults checking into one hotel room together for multiple nights is not circumstantial. It's pretty clearly intentional. Move on. Then came the asset division argument. Wife's lawyer wanted 50% home equity, even though I owned it pre-marriage, spousal support of $3,000 a month for 5 years, her car that I helped her buy, title was in both names, my mistake 2 years ago, and half my retirement account. My lawyer's counter, she gets her personal belongings, her car, that she still owes $8,000 on, and $500 per month spousal support for 2 years while she adjusts to single life. Judge reviewed everything. The premarital ownership of the house, the separate finances, the fact that she worked full-time and earned her own income, the adultery evidence. His ruling, house, 100% mine. She has 30 days to remove any belongings. Cars, she keeps hers, I keep mine. She handles her own car payment. Retirement, all separate accounts stay separate. Spousal support, $750 a month for 18 months. Enough to help transition but not fund irresponsibility. Debt. All separate debts stay separate. My wife started crying. Her lawyer looked pissed, but not surprised. Judge, ma'am, you committed adultery and then tried to claim your husband's response to your betrayal was abuse. This court doesn't reward that behavior. You'll get enough support to transition to fully independent living. Be grateful for that. Outside the courthouse, her mom was waiting, started screaming at me in the parking lot about how I'm an evil man who's destroying their family. I just got in my car and left. Got a text from yet another unknown number last night. I hope you're happy. You've ruined my life. I have to move back home with my parents because I can't afford an apartment on my own. Everyone thinks I'm a terrible person. You did this to me. I replied to this one, just once. You did this to yourself. 3 days at the Westfield Hotel with someone else. Own it. Blocked the number. Final update, 6 weeks later. It's done. Completely, finally done. The divorce was finalized last week. I got the official paperwork Wednesday. It's been almost 3 months since she walked in that door and told me she didn't owe me explanations. She was right. She didn't, and I didn't owe her a marriage. The last 6 weeks were mostly quiet on her end. The court ruling basically killed any remaining fight she had. She moved out of her parents' place and got a small apartment with a roommate about 30 minutes away. Heard through mutual friends, who I've mostly cut off anyway, that she's working and trying to rebuild her life. Good for her, I guess. But the entitlement didn't completely die. Had a few final flare-ups. 2 weeks ago, I got a call from her sister. Somehow got my new number. I changed it after the divorce finalized. Hey, it's me. How'd you get this number? Doesn't matter. Look, I'm calling because I think you should know something. Not interested. She's really struggling, lost weight, crying all the time, can barely function at work. I think she's depressed. She should see a therapist. She needs closure. She needs to talk to you just once, face to face. She got closure in court. You're seriously gonna hold this over her forever? She made one mistake. A 3-day mistake. At a hotel, with someone else. People make mistakes when they're unhappy. You should have been a better husband. And there it was. Still my fault somehow. I was a fine husband. She was a terrible wife. Tell her to stop sending family members to guilt trip me. You're such an hung up. Blocked. Last week I ran into her at Target, completely random. I was grabbing paper towels, turned the corner, and there she was. We made eye contact, she froze. I nodded and kept walking. Wait, she followed me. Can we talk? Please? Just 5 minutes? No, I just want to apologize. Properly, I never got to. Don't need it. Don't need it. We're done. Please, I need this. For me. To move on. I stopped. Turned around. You need to apologize so you can move on, so you can feel better about what you did? I just... Here's the thing. I don't care if you move on. I don't care if you feel guilty forever. You made your choices. You live with them. I've moved on already. Her eyes filled with tears. I still love you. You loved a hotel room with some other guy more. It wasn't like that. It was exactly like that. I got photos. 2 nights, same room, lots of kissing. I'm not stupid and neither are you. Stop lying. She wiped her eyes. Fine, you want me to say it? Yes, I slept with him. Yes, it was wrong. Yes, I regret it every single day. There, happy now? Indifferent, actually. That's worse for you, I know, but it's true. I don't hate you. I don't love you. I don't think about you at all unless forced to. You're so cold. I'm practical. You taught me that. You said you didn't owe me explanations. You were right. I don't owe you forgiveness either. We're even. She just stood there crying while I walked away. Haven't heard from her since. As for me, I'm good. Not great, not terrible, just good. The house feels bigger now, emptier but cleaner somehow. I repainted the bedroom, got new furniture, donated stuff that reminded me of her. Made it mine again. Work's been steady. Boss knows the situation and has been cool about everything. No more parking lot stalking, no more harassment calls. Started seeing someone casually a few weeks ago. Met her at a bookstore. We're taking it slow. She knows about the divorce, knows it's fresh, isn't pushing for anything serious. It's nice. My parents are relieved it's over. Dad took me to a baseball game last weekend. Didn't even bring up the divorce. Just ate hot dogs and complained about the bullpen. Mom keeps asking if I'm really okay or just pretending. I think I'm actually okay. Took a while to get here, but yeah, I'm okay. The trust issues are real though. Not gonna lie about that. Every time the new girl texts late or doesn't respond for a few hours, there's this little voice. But I'm working on it. Can't let one terrible person ruin all future possibilities. What I learned. When someone tells you who they are, believe them immediately. When she said I don't owe you explanations, she was telling me she didn't value our marriage. I just took her at her word. Also learned, separate finances was the smartest decision we ever made. Made the divorce infinitely cleaner. And most importantly, hiring that PI was worth every penny. Without those photos, she'd still be lying, still be gaslighting, still be making me think I was crazy for having suspicions. Raymond gave me proof. Proof gave me leverage. Leverage gave me a clean divorce. To everyone who messaged with support, thanks. To the few who said I should have tried counseling or given her another chance, respectfully disagree. She didn't trip and fall into that hotel bed. She planned it, executed it, lied about it, and only showed remorse when caught. That's not someone you build a future with. Time to actually move forward now. Close this chapter for real. The divorce is final. The house is mine. The life is mine. She wanted space and no explanations. She got permanent space and all the explanations she didn't want. Good enough for me. My wife was thrilled about the hot new neighbor. Turns out it was her ex. I caught them passing notes through the fence, so I sold our house to his crazy stalker ex-girlfriend. Now they're neighbors forever. Original post I-35 male honestly should have seen this coming. My wife, 33, has been married to me for 6 years, together for 8. We bought our house in the suburbs 3 years ago. Standard middle-class neighborhood, white picket fences, the whole package. Last month, the house next door finally sold after sitting empty for almost a year. My wife was weirdly excited about it, like more excited than a normal person should be about neighbors they haven't even met yet. I hope it's a young couple, she kept saying. Someone we can be friends with. Moving day comes, I'm at work. Get home around 6 p.m. and she's practically bouncing. The new neighbor moved in. He seems really nice. Came over to introduce himself while you were gone. Cool. What's his name? She hesitated for like half a second. Oh, didn't catch it, but he's really friendly. Red flag number 1. Who doesn't catch someone's name when they introduce themselves? That weekend, I'm in the backyard grilling. Our fence is one of those with gaps between the boards. Not huge gaps, but you can definitely see through them. I notice my wife keeps looking over at the neighbor's yard. Everything okay? I ask. What? Yeah. Just checking out how they're setting up their patio. Looks nice. Then I hear it. A male voice from the other side. Hey, smells good over there. My wife literally giggles. Giggles. Like a teenager. Thanks. My husband's grilling. Lucky you. Something about her tone was off. Too friendly. Too familiar. Later that night, I'm taking the trash out around 10 p.m. It's dark. I see my wife's silhouette by the fence. She's standing there, and I swear she reaches through one of the gaps. Then she pulls her hand back with something white. A piece of paper. She didn't see me. Went back inside all casual like nothing happened. I stood there in the dark for a solid 5 minutes just processing. No passing? Through the fence? Are we in middle school? Didn't say anything that night. Needed to think. Next day, I'm working from home. Around 2 p.m. I see her go outside with her coffee. She's by the fence again, looking around first, real subtle. Then she folds something small and slides it through the gap in the fence. That's when I decided to figure out who this neighbor actually was. Took me about 30 minutes of social media stalking. Found his Instagram through the neighborhood Facebook group where someone welcomed him. His name? Yeah, that name. The ex-boyfriend from her college years. The one she loved so much, but it just didn't work out. The one whose photo she kept in a box under our bed until I found it 2 years into our marriage. I sat there staring at his profile, recent posts about starting fresh and new beginnings, and excited for this next chapter. The house next door didn't just randomly go to him. This was planned. That night at dinner I tested the waters. So, did you get the neighbor's name yet? Oh, yeah, it's Derek or David. Something with a D. His name starts with a T. She looked me right in the eyes and lied. I smiled. Cool, we should have him over for dinner sometime. Maybe. Let's wait till he's more settled. Translation: absolutely not. I spent the next week documenting everything. Took photos with timestamps every time she went to the fence. Found 3 more notes being passed. Even managed to retrieve one that fell on our side. Just said, tomorrow at 3, with a heart drawn at the bottom. A heart. Called my buddy from law school. He's a real estate attorney now. Asked him about selling a house quickly, what my options were. Why the rush? He asked. Need a change of scenery. How fast could I move if I priced it right? In this market? House like yours. Price at $10K under value, you'll have offers in 48 hours. What if my wife doesn't want to sell? Both names on the deed, yeah. Then it's complicated. You'd need her signature, unless you have grounds for... Thanks, man. I'll think about it. That weekend I made my move. Saturday morning, coffee on the patio. My wife's inside getting ready for her yoga class. Yeah, right. I walked over to the fence, knocked on one of the boards. Hey, neighbor, got a minute? He came out. Tall, fit, stupid, perfect hair. Exactly like his Instagram. Oh hey, you must be the husband. That's me, I smiled. Extended my hand through the fence gap for a handshake. He took it. Nice to finally meet you, man. Your wife's been really welcoming. I bet she has. So I gotta ask, you know each other from before, right? His face went white. What? You and my wife. College sweethearts, if I remember the story right? He actually stammered. It was a long time ago. Must be quite the coincidence. Her ex-boyfriend just happening to buy the house next door. Look, man, I didn't know she lived here when I... Save it. I kept smiling. Just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page. Transparency and all that. I walked back inside. My wife was coming down the stairs. Who were you talking to? Our neighbor? Had a nice chat? Small world, huh? Your ex-boyfriend living right next door. She froze on the bottom step. What? Yeah, funny story. I recognized him from your old photos. The ones you said you threw away but actually just moved to the garage. I can't explain. I'm sure you can. But here's the thing. I don't actually care about the explanation. I care about the notes. What notes? Too defensive, too fast. The ones you've been passing through the fence like you're 16. Found one yesterday. Tomorrow at 3 with a little heart. Very cute. She went from pale to red. You're spying on me? In my own backyard? Yeah, guilty. Called documenting, actually. Nothing's happened, we're just talking. Cool. Then you won't mind if we put the house up for sale. Fresh start somewhere new. What? No. I love this house. Weird, because you seem to love it a lot more after he moved in next door. The fight lasted 3 hours. Lots of, you're being paranoid, and you don't trust me, and he's just a friend from the past. Zero acknowledgement of the lying, the note passing, the sneaking around. Finally I said, here's the deal. We sell, or I get a lawyer and we figure out why you're secretly communicating with your ex-boyfriend behind my back. Your call. She didn't call my bluff. Update 1. 2 weeks later, the entitlement really kicked in once the for sale sign went up. My wife tried everything, sobbing about how I was forcing her from her dream home, calling me controlling, telling her mother I was financially abusing her by making her move. Her mom actually called me. You can't just uproot her life like this. I can actually. It's my house too. If she wants to stay, she can buy out my half. Silence, because we both knew she couldn't afford that. Her friends started calling. The entitled suburban mom brigade came out in force. She's so upset. You're being unreasonable. All marriages have rough patches. I started responding with, would you be okay with your husband secretly passing notes with his ex-girlfriend who just happened to move in next door? That shut most of them up. But here's where it gets good. I was handling the sale logistics. My wife couldn't deal with it. Translation, was sulking. The realtor said we'd have multiple offers by the end of the week. Wednesday afternoon, I'm reviewing offers on my laptop. There are 6, all solid. 3 above asking price even. Then I get a call from an unknown number. Hello? Hi, is this about the house on Oakwood Drive? Female voice, younger sounding. Who's asking? My name's Ashley. I saw your listing. I'm very interested. Great. Did you submit an offer through the realtor? Not yet. I wanted to talk to you first. I have some questions about the neighborhood. Something in her tone made me pause. Okay, what questions? Well, I noticed the house next door recently sold. Do you know anything about that neighbor? Why does that matter? It matters a lot to me, actually. The owner, is his name Tyler? Bingo. The ex-boyfriend. Yeah, you know him? Long pause. You could say that. We dated for 3 years. He moved here without telling me. Blocked me on everything. I've been trying to find him. I sat up straighter. Go on. Look, I know how this sounds, but I need to be near him. We had something real. He just got scared of commitment. I know if we're in the same place again, he'll remember what we had. Red flags everywhere, but also an opportunity. So you want to buy my house to be near your ex-boyfriend? I want to buy your house because it's in a nice neighborhood and happens to be next door to someone I care about. The rationalization of a stalker. Noted. What's your budget? I can go up to asking price. Cash offer. No inspection. Close in 2 weeks. Cash. No inspection. 2 weeks. Ashley, can I call you back in an hour? Sure. I hung up and did what any reasonable person would do. I Facebook stalked her. Ashley's profile was a lot. Photos of her and Tyler going back years. But here's the thing. They stopped 2 years ago on his side. Her side? She was still posting couple photos up until 3 months ago. Old photos, but captioned like they were current. Miss my babe, with a pic from 2022. Her friends' comments, girl, you need to move on, and this isn't healthy. One post from 6 months ago. Sometimes love means giving someone space even when it hurts. He'll come back. They always do. Big yikes. But Tyler moved across the country to get away from her, and now she'd found him. I called her back. Ashley, I need to be straight with you. Are you planning to use this house to be close to your ex? I just want to live my life. If he happens to be nearby, that's fate. He might not see it that way. That's between me and him. I thought about my wife, the note passing, the lying, the fact that she clearly wanted Tyler close by. Okay, here's what I'll do. You submit a cash offer at asking price. I'll accept it. But you need to know, my wife is friends with Tyler. They're close. You'll probably see them together. Oh, her voice got cold. How close? They're neighbors. What do you think? I see. Pause. My offer stands. Great, I'll tell my realtor to expect it. That night, I told my wife we had an offer. Already? From who? Cash buyer. Wants to close fast. It's a good offer. What about the other offers? This one's cleaner. No inspection contingencies. She sulked but signed the paperwork. Didn't even ask who the buyer was. Tyler knocked on the door 2 days later. I answered. Hey man, can we talk? Sure. Is it true you're selling to some woman named Ashley? Oh, he knew. Yep, cash offer, good deal. Dude, that's my ex. She's insane. You can't sell to her. Why not? She stalked me. That's why I moved here. You're literally putting her right next door to me. Huh, weird coincidence. This isn't funny. She's gonna make my life hell. Maybe you should move then. I just bought this place. Yeah, must be rough when someone you want distance from ends up right next to you. Really sucks, doesn't it? He stared at me, understanding dawning. You're doing this on purpose. I'm selling my house to someone who made a legitimate cash offer. What they do after that isn't my problem. Your wife doesn't get a vote. She wanted to stay in this neighborhood so bad, she can stay. Just not in my house. She'll be in the apartment we're renting until the divorce is final. Still in the same school district, though. She'll love that. He went pale. Divorce? Oh yeah, didn't she mention? I filed last week. Turns out secret note passing with your ex is grounds for irreconcilable differences. Who knew? We didn't do anything. Cool. Tell it to the judge. Oh, and Tyler? You're gonna want to invest in some good privacy curtains. Ashley seems very dedicated to your relationship. I closed the door on his shocked face. Update 2. 1 month later. Closing day was beautiful. Ashley showed up in person, checkbook ready. My wife refused to attend, so her lawyer had power of attorney for the signing. Ashley was exactly what I expected. Mid-20s, Instagram baddie aesthetic, talked about manifesting and the universe bringing people together. "I'm so excited," she said. "This house has such good energy." "Sure does. Your neighbor's a real stand-up guy too." "Oh, I know. We have so much history together." After signing, she asked, "So you and your wife are really divorcing?" "Yup. Because of Tyler, because of lies. Tyler was just the catalyst." "Well, for what it's worth, you're making the right choice. If someone wants to be with their ex that badly, they should be together. Let them deal with the reality of it." Smart girl, despite the stalker vibes. The divorce was moving forward. My wife tried to claim emotional distress. Her lawyer argued I forced the sale. My lawyer presented the documented notes, the Facebook messages I'd subpoenaed. Oh yeah, they'd been messaging too, nothing explicit, but definitely inappropriate, and her own admission that she'd been in contact with Tyler. Judge was not sympathetic. "Ma'am, your husband sold jointly owned property. You signed the paperwork. The fact that you don't like the buyer is irrelevant. She got the apartment I'd been paying for during the separation, her car, and her personal stuff. I got the proceeds from the house sale, minus her portion of equity, which after the mortgage wasn't much. And my retirement accounts stayed untouched since we'd kept those separate. Could have been worse. Could have been better. But it was done." The real entertainment came from the neighborhood Facebook group. Tyler made a post. "Does anyone know the new owner address? She's been leaving gifts on my porch and I haven't ordered anything." Comments poured in. "That's so sweet, a friendly neighbor. Maybe it's a welcome gesture?" Then Ashley commented, "Just trying to be neighborly. Hope you like the cookies." Someone else, "Wait, do you two know each other?" Ashley, "We go way back. So excited to reconnect." Tyler didn't respond after that. 2 weeks later, another post from Tyler. "Serious question. What are the rules about security cameras pointing at neighboring property?" The comments were split between, "Why do you need cameras?" and "Everyone has the right to security." Ashley commented, "I'm installing cameras too, for safety. Can never be too careful." I was watching this unfold from my new apartment across town like the world's most satisfying reality show. My wife finally figured out who Ashley was when she saw her in the neighborhood. Called me immediately. "Did you know who you sold to?" "Yep. She's his stalker ex." "I'm aware. She's crazy. She knocked on my apartment door asking about Tyler, asked if we were dating." "Would you tell her?" "I told her to leave me alone. This is your fault." "Actually, it's your fault for lying about who moved in next door and passing him secret notes like a teenager." "But sure, blame me. She's gonna ruin everything." "Everything was already ruined. I just rearranged the pieces." "I can't believe you did this. I can't believe you thought I'd just let you have your cake and eat it too." She hung up on me. Last week I got added to a group chat. Tyler, my wife, and 3 other neighborhood people. Tyler had created it as an emergency neighborhood watch, but it was really a "what do we do about Ashley" chat. Tyler, she's in her yard every time I'm outside. Every single time. My wife, she asks me questions about you constantly. Where you work, what time you come home, if you're seeing anyone. I've called the cops twice. They say she's not technically doing anything illegal. Someone else, "Have you tried talking to her?" "Yes, she acts like we're still together. Says we're working through things." My wife, "Can't you get a restraining order?" Tried. Not enough evidence yet. She has to actually threaten me or trespass. I watched the chat in real time, making popcorn. Didn't contribute, just watched. Then came my favorite part. Tyler posted in the neighborhood group, "I'm selling my house. If anyone's interested or knows someone looking, please DM me. Willing to negotiate on price for a quick sale." Ashley commented immediately, "Why are you selling? I just moved here. I need a change." But we just reconnected. The universe brought us back together. We're not together, Ashley. We broke up years ago. We're taking a break. That's different. The comment thread was deleted by the admin within minutes, but screenshots lived forever. My ex-wife called again. "He's moving because of what you did. He's moving because someone who wouldn't respect his boundaries found him. Not my problem. I hate you. You made your choice when you started passing notes. I just made sure you got exactly what you wanted. Tyler close by. Forever. In the same neighborhood, living in that crappy apartment you insisted you needed to stay in the same school district for. Enjoy. Final update. 3 months later, Tyler didn't move. Turns out selling a house you just bought for less than you paid sucks. He was stuck. Listed it at $20,000 below what he paid. Still no takers because everyone in the neighborhood knew about the situation. Ashley's still there. Posted on Instagram last week. Sometimes love requires patience. Every day closer to him is a gift from the universe. The comments are all concerned friends telling her to move on. She responds with heart emojis. My ex-wife? Still in the apartment. Her lease is up in 2 months. She's been looking at places, but everything's either too expensive or too far from her job. Here's the thing though. She started dating Tyler. Finally. Officially. Got confirmed through mutual friends. They're actually together now. Started about 6 weeks ago. The notes through the fence became actual dates once I was out of the picture. You'd think that's what I feared, right? That they'd end up together and be happy, and I'd be the chump who lost? Nah, because they can't go anywhere in the neighborhood without running into Ashley. Coffee shop? Ashley's there. Grocery store? Ashley's there. They tried going to a restaurant 2 towns over. Ashley posted an Instagram story at the same restaurant 30 minutes later. Tyler's gained weight from stress, visible even in his Facebook photos, dark circles under his eyes. My ex-wife looks exhausted in the photos she's tagged in. They can't hold hands outside without Ashley watching from her window. Can't sit on his porch without her coming out to hers. Can't have friends over without Ashley introducing herself and staying too long. Tyler filed for a restraining order 2 weeks ago. It got denied. Ashley's lawyer argued she's just living her life in her own home, and if they happen to be in the same places, that's coincidence. Judge agreed. My ex-wife tried to file harassment charges. Also denied. They're trapped. Both of them. In the neighborhood she insisted we stay in. With the ex-boyfriend she insisted was just a friend. Being watched constantly by someone who loves him exactly as obsessively as my ex-wife wanted him, just directed at the wrong person. As for me, I'm good. Not great, not terrible, just good. Rented a nice 1-bedroom downtown, shorter commute to work. Started taking a pottery class. I know sounds dumb, but it's actually relaxing. Went on a few dates through apps. Nothing serious yet, but I'm not rushing. The divorce finalized last month. My ex got her share of the house proceeds, about $40,000 after the mortgage, fees, and my lawyer's costs. She's already spent most of it on credit cards she ran up during the marriage that I didn't know about. Her problem now. I kept my retirement accounts, my car, and most importantly, my dignity. My buddy asked me last week if I regretted it. The whole thing. Selling to Ashley specifically. Honestly, no. Because here's what my ex-wife doesn't get. I didn't do this out of revenge. I did it because she made a choice. She chose to lie, to sneak around, to prioritize her ex over our marriage. I just made sure she had to live with that choice. Fully. Completely. Without the safety net of me funding her life while she explored her options. She wanted Tyler close, she got him. Right there. Every day. With all the complications that come with it. She wanted to stay in that neighborhood? She got that too. An apartment she can barely afford, watching the house we built together belong to someone else. And Tyler? He thought he could move next to his ex's wife, rekindle something, and face 0 consequences. Now he gets to understand what it feels like when someone won't leave you alone. When someone doesn't respect boundaries. When you can't escape. The notes through the fence stopped, by the way. Ashley installed a camera pointing right at it. Last thing, my ex-mother-in-law called last month. She'd heard about Tyler and Ashley. You did this on purpose, didn't you? I sold my house. What happened after that is between them and their choices. You've ruined my daughter's life. No, ma'am. Your daughter ruined her own life. I just stopped protecting her from the consequences. She hung up. Got a message last week from Tyler through Facebook. I'd never blocked him. I know you did this on purpose, man. I just want you to know. I get it now. What you were trying to show us. And you were right. I left it on read. They made their choices. I made mine. The difference is I can sleep at night. And honestly, that's enough. Edit, since people keep asking. Yes, this is 100% legal. I sold my house to a legitimate buyer with cash. What they do after closing isn't my responsibility. No, I don't feel bad for Tyler. He knew she was married and moved in next door anyway. No, I don't feel bad for my ex. She made her choice every time she passed a note, sent a message, or lied to my face. Yes, Ashley might be unhinged, but she's also their problem now, not mine. The pottery class is actually pretty fun. Made a bowl last week that only slightly wobbles.